Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you all doing, boys and girls? Oh, it's Monday. Yes, love me a Monday. Sun's out. I'm running a little bit late today, but it's all good. Apple juice on the go. How did everybody's weekend go? I hope everybody had a good time. Have a mega cold. This is the season. That is to be said. But yeah, rest up. Get those Finrex in on the go. I wish you the best, cheerleader. Good opportunity to sit inside and play video games, though, right? Hydrate, yes. Hydrate is definitely a life hack for sure. Right, let's get things up and running. Have we got? Where's Streamlabs this morning? Is he alive? Sometimes he's alive, sometimes he's not alive. Streamlabs seems to have a distinct problem with engaging with Team YouTube, but for Team Twitch he seems to be okay. Alright, there we go. That's good. Alrighty. Right, Monday. Do your worst. Do your absolute worst. I did manage to yesterday. I logged on for, I don't know, an hour, maybe a little over an hour. I figured out that I can burn through all of my concentration on my alts in a little over an hour if I actually just straight up focus and figure out what the hell's going on. So I managed to not cap my concentration, I think. Yeah, we didn't cap any concentration, which is good. There's an ever-growing feeling that this concentration chasing is going to become all-consuming and something that I'm already being a little bit cautious about promoting to people because it's mission tables on crack, genuinely. Since the fact that if you ever cap your concentration at 1,000, you're technically leaving gold on the table. But the way that concentration works, and the way that ingenuity occasionally procs and saves you a bunch, but might not save you enough to allow you another craft. And on top of that, everything you're crafting is using a slightly different amount of concentration. The whole log on twice a week and burn your concentration is quite difficult to do because they all kind of like have, you can see, right? They all have completely different concentration values. And if you just log on once or twice a week, it becomes problematic. So I don't know. Make ingenuity great again. Welcome in Golds and good morning. A bit of Dark Moon Fair. There is a bit of Dark Moon Fair as well, yeah. The irony for me is that on most of my professions, I'm so far behind. My Patreon orders seem to indicate that I'm so far behind that going and doing the Dark Moon Fair, I just genuinely 100% cannot be bothered to do and probably won't. Because, I mean, at this point, 3 knowledge points, it's like, it's a drop in the ocean compared to what I actually need on most of these toons anyway. If I was fighting for absolute min-max bis still, sure, Dark Moon I'm not gonna fuss about. IKEA trip Saturday, sacrificed the lawn yesterday, so much grass. I cut the grass yesterday, and I had the grass the clippings collector on the back of the lawnmower, and I did about 2 lines up and down, and the damn thing was full, and I said, nah, we're not having that whatsoever. Grass clippings container got yeeted. And I'm just going to have to hope that it all mulches down and, the lawn reabsorbs all its nutrients. Because I was not emptying the silly little grass container 700 times. So it sounds like we had similar weekends, although I escaped the IKEA trip. That said, I do need to go to IKEA. You guys don't get to see, but over this side, there's a sofa. Well, because of course most people like to sit on something when they watch the telly, right? You guys don't get that angle, but there's a sofa there, but it's really old and it's gross, and we want to replace it with something a little bit more comfortable. Which unfortunately is probably going to require an IKEA trip because sofas, I don't know how many people have bought many sofas in their lives, but my God, sofas are expensive. And I'm like, it's a frame made of wood and a bit of material. How the Christ are you charging me literally thousands of euros for this thing? Since I'm in the wrong game, clearly. Clearly, there's some money to be made in the sofa game. Maybe we should take our goblin tactics and have a go at the old sofa game. They say leaving the leaves and the grass on the lawn is good winter prep. Well, the lawnmower did a good job of chopping them all up. So all the leaves are now finely diced. My lawn looks absolutely tragic, but yes, I do think by the time we get a nice layer of snow on it, it might be it might be good overall. I don't know. I think I have more tea in my body than blood at the moment, though. There's no problem with that. No problem whatsoever. Right, I think today, because I did burn through my concentration, today's a day I get to have a little bit of a look at some of these characters and just try and keep them up to speed a little bit. We might look at trying doing some patron orders, get these numbers a little bit lower. We might take the opportunity, if I am so daring, as to complete any weekly activities that are outstanding. I'm looking at you, shards, treasures. I still haven't completed even 3 leatherworking work orders by the looks of things on this dude. How's that even possible? Is the sofa a pull-out bed as well? It's not, no, but behind this door that you can see just behind my head here is a small bedroom with a sofa bed in there, so. What's that, top left? This is the best weak aura a goblin can get their hands on. This little weak aura is god tier because not only does it tell you exactly what you have to do for the week, and as you can see, it even is showing the Dark Moon Fair on there as something that you can go and do. Yeah, it's basically your catch up, your job list for professions, and it's yeah, it's wonderful, actually wonderful. Guild crafting orders. You want that at Q5? Ah, you provided 5k. We'll do you a solid. Oh no, I don't have enough concentration. Oh no. Under normal circumstances, I'd have crafted that for you. I need 624 concentration though. I don't have 624 concentration. I only have 480. Damn, that's a lot of concentration for a quality 5. I'd have crafted that for you if I had the concentration. Nerubian Alchemist's hat. I don't have that, unfortunately. What we got in here then? What we got in here? That's a freebie. Oh my god, I spot 2 freebies. Blizzard, did you listen? Did you actually listen? Featured on the latest Wowhead Weekly Economy as well. Manthe paid Samadan this week. Was there a weekly economy? I looked yesterday when it meant to go live and didn't see anything go live. Was it late? I'll have a look at that in a minute. Freebie. Claim. A hat. GG. There's our orders. There's another freebie. Maybe if you just wait long enough, you do get some freebies occasionally. That's money. Oh, I need some crystalline powder. Montecuso Capulets. All my buttons are in the wrong place on this dude. Sure. Jewel Crafting says deep stone fragment found on treasures in Kazalgar. Any idea where it will be? Oh, it's all the random treasures. So like the little dirt piles you can find. All of the zone's random little treasures that can appear. You just gotta fly around and find them. They'll pop up. Dirt piles don't pop up on your mini-map, but if you have outline mode on, you'll be able to spot them. What was I in here for? Crystalline something or other. Okay, get that one done. Cash monies. What have we got in here then? Piece of gear, 2,000 gold, not happening. Van braces, 3,000 gold, not happening. 600 gold for 2 knowledge points. Nah, you're alright. $123 gold, first time craft bonus. All we need is 10 cinder bees and an armor banding. That's worth doing. That's worth doing. First time craft if nothing else. I need 10 cinder bees. I bet I don't have any of these, do I? Oh, I do. I do have cinder bees. And an armor banding. We can make the armor banding, right? Just make a trash one. Need some buzz cinder bees. Aha. Go on, proc resourcefulness on some of this as well. That would make my day. That'd absolutely make my day. That'd be a good way to start Monday, that would. Never lucky. First time craft bonus. Bit of arts and security though, we'll take it. Drums. Not providing the gloom chitin. Do I want to spend 300 gold on 30 artisan security? Considering I can't do any profession shuffling, my only source of artisan security is really through these. It makes me feel like I should probably do it. I have no leather. Oh dear. Trip to the old AH. Tell me that isn't a Stella at 9 AM. It's not. It's fresh home brew apple juice.
My prices to be reasonable.
And that's not lingo for cider either. Gloom chitin. Rank 1 is more expensive than rank 2. Hysterical. Oh, it's actually not though, is it? Oh, well, it basically is. Slap that in the gill bank. Yeah, keeping up with patron orders, mind, is more of a task than nearly anything else. When you consider the time-consuming aspect of keeping an alt army up and running, the concentration blast once every couple of days is easy mode. I can safely say though, even though generally people's success with the professions, this expansion has been varied. Personally, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it quite a lot. I love this kind of like weird tinkering with stuff all the time. I have a weird affliction for this sort of gameplay loop. Storm charge leather, 30 more artisan security for 1 gold. Sold. Sold to the highest bidder. And eventually, once 11.0.5 turns up, even this process will be made much easier. 500 for 2 knowledge points. Nah, I'm not that aggressively after those. It's 11:25 in Finland, so it's perfectly fine. Hey, the rule is midday in my books. Unless you're in an airport, and then all rules go out the window. I don't get on a plane without an airport beer, so no matter what time of the day I'm flying. Right, that was leatherworking stuff done. Is there any advancements we can make to the profession in general? These last 12 points are going to be the bane of my life. I don't know where they're coming from, honestly. Unless we get lucky with a couple of these. Yeah, we're having to make PvP gear or mass-produce things. Mass-producing things doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence, so... Spec points? Where did we spend spec points on this dude? Unlocked all the mail stuff, so that I can craft my own gear for my own hunters in theory. 3 points from Dark Moon Fair. I'm not doing Dark Moon Fair. I know it's relatively simple to go over there and do a thing, but doing it 20 times on 20 characters, no, I'm just not going to do it. I am going to get my coffee, though. An espresso martini. Look, you're painting me out to be some sort of alcoholic. We have a few beers on a Wednesday if we do an evening stream, and outside of that, this is healthy living here. This is apple juice, even though it looks a little bit like a sample. It's apple juice. It is the colour of a hangover piss, I suppose, isn't it? But time to go to the airport just to have that beer that society won't frown upon you for. If it works. How do you get the crafting cost in the crafting panel? It's part of Auctionator, but it's not so much a crafting cost. It's a cost to press the button. Consider it more that way. So here, this is Auctionator, I think, that's adding up the minimum price of these items to give you this number. So this isn't really your crafting cost. I know it says to craft, but it's how much you have to spend to press the button. Don't forget that when you press the button, you can proc resourcefulness, you can proc multi-craft, so your overall crafting cost might be cheaper, but this is the cost to press the button, which is why this profit thing, you can kind of ignore it. In fact, if there was a way in Auctionator to turn off the profit calculation, I probably would. Because it's just wildly wrong. And it doesn't update, because I don't update the numbers. Is there a way to show crafting cost in the crafting view window? Show profit from craft. Okay, I'm going to turn that one off. That way it's won't mislead me on profits. Because I don't use Auctionator for... I would also go as far as saying that it's probably not going to have the right prices for a lot of stuff either. So yeah, generally speaking, it's just probably best off not using it, but... I don't understand why TSM hasn't done something more like Craft Sim. Because TSM has this huge monster of an advantage over every other add-on developer out there in that they have the data. Like, literally, they have the data. Is there not a way to do that with TSM or TSM's pricing history? Well, I mean, you can use the TSM interface, but I am somewhat surprised that TSM hasn't gone Now, I guess in a way it's too much defeat, too close to admitting defeat maybe. But this window, I don't think anybody's using this window. And I don't think anybody's using this window for a long time at this point. I don't have any trust in most of these numbers. Used it yesterday myself. Were you crafting like Wrath of the Lich King gems or something? It sucks. It's not something that I would. It's not something that I can. I don't know. It's just. Yeah, I honestly can't recommend it. When Craft Sim can do. I mean, Craft Sim doesn't have particularly fancy UI, right? But at least you can open modules, close modules, move them about. They interact with the default window rather than having a completely separate window. Because Trade Skill Master could do this super easy, right? Trade Skill Master could just put a number here and it would actually maybe be useful even. But obviously they're doing their own thing with their own interface. But like I said, the one advantage that TSM has over everybody else is they are the ones that collate the data. And I think the more they lean on that, the better. They're getting there with their new website. It still feels very early days to me, their new website. It feels like they got it out for the launch of the expansion, when realistically, under normal circumstances, they'd have probably waited a bit longer. But it's a good start. It's definitely a good start. But yeah, if they lean on the data way more, get their data like absolutely nailed, give people smart ways to use that data as well. But like I said, even Craft Sim wouldn't survive properly without, TSM in the background. So you need to kind of use them both. I'm not too sure I want to spend any gold getting this dude levels. I think I'm just going to have to play the long game and wait for some orders that are not tragically bad. That said, I wonder if there's any value in me maybe putting a touch more effort into these ones, just because they will give me skill points as well. I'll get 3 skill points for crafting it. Is it worth the extra gold? 2,500 gold. It's probably not still. It's still not really. If they provided all the materials, I'd press the button, I suppose. This is where we need public orders to come through. If this dude's order's still there... Oh, well, no, actually, I'm still... Can I use a... If I go like this... Why won't it let me add finishing reagents? Oh, because they're not on hand. Yeah, that's annoying. I'm not going to be able to finish. I'm not going to be able to do that one, unfortunately. Do you know much about the herb mining overloading? It seems horrendous to me. Seems like a gold per hour loss and just a fun thing. Well, it's conceptually, it's it's taken from Dragonflight, right? Where the Awakened and the Rousings were where you made your money. In Dragonflight, that's not where you make your money. Sorry, the War Within, that's not where you make your money. So, yeah, overloading is nowhere near as impactful anymore because it doesn't proc more stuff that is, of super high value. But that said, you should still be pressing it on cooldown because more is definitely more. Think about it daily. They could build such a good system. It made sense for them to not rush it during Dragonflight, but it seems like this is the future Blizz is pushing for. I've given feedback to TSM a couple of times, suggesting that they forget the crafting side of things because their add-on worked great in the past, but the concept of how their add-on, the concept of setting everything up in TSM and then just pressing a button and it giving you a list of stuff to craft, unfortunately, is just not viable anymore, and it hasn't been viable for quite a while. So I think the more they lean into other stuff, I think they should really look at the auction house module and see what they can do more to improve the auction house side of things. I really think that's where they can make a lot of improvements where nobody else is doing anything. They've rebuilt their website, so the data that they have, they can start doing more clever stuff and allowing people to do more analysis of the data, both players' own personal sales data and also, the generic data. So that will, I assume, get to a good position soon. It's still early on their new website, though, it feels. Yeah, they've got some adapting to do, the TSM guys. One guy's come along and made Craft Sim, and it absolutely blows TSM's crafting out the water. So it shows what, some innovation can do. Need TSM for the old world crafts? Yeah. If you are still into the old world crafts, then it has its place there, because it was at its best probably BFA-ish sort of time. BFA, I would say, was probably the pinnacle of TSM's crafting. You could, as soon as we had Shadowlands, it started to flounder a little bit because it didn't work very well with legendaries. It then struggled to work with the Crafter's Mark gear throughout the entire expansion. And of course, Dragonflight and the War Within, TSM are maybe just focusing more on Classic than Retail. Well, that is true. It's still absolute god tier in Classic. So, yeah, for that area of the market, you could be right. How many spec points do we have? 14 knowledge points. I think I've really randomly been placing points on this dude. I've never decided what to do. I suddenly realised that until I've optimised my crafting costs, I shouldn't be spending too much else, too many other places. So maybe filling this one out first. Sub-spec. We need 2 sub-specs.
Is that your wallet? Or are you just glad to see me?
We need Waste Not,
Both,
which
I
is
hope.
resourcefulness. And we need Multicraft. The crap load of custom price strings and formulas for the Legos. Oh my lord, I remember my custom posting string for Legos was ridiculous. Actually bananas. It was basically an essay. I don't have it anymore because as soon as Shadowlands finished, I deleted it because it actually slowed my game down to a crawl whenever I pressed post. Do we go resourcefulness or multicraft? Where we can use multicraft, we go multicraft. But this dude is kind of a little bit eyes all over the place. Yes, absolutely. And Lady Daisy, thank you very much for the 16 months. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. I don't see the windows anymore when I open my profession window. How do you restore craft sim windows? Well, you should still see this bar at the top here. If you can move your window, if you use an add-on that allows you to move your window, you'll see this bar. And then you can open this and you probably then just need to click them. Would be my guess. My guess would be this is just like maybe a little bit at the top of your screen and you haven't noticed it or something. It's easy to lose it. I kind of just want points everywhere here. Considering the way this character's built out to basically do work orders when they turn up of any variety, namely patron orders. Secondly, crafting the odd piece of gear for the guild, hopefully, when I get enough skill to do it, or enough concentration to do it. So, even though multi-craft does win, do I put points in resourcefulness first? Just because I'm mostly going to be actually crafting things that take advantage of resourcefulness and not multi-craft? Sure. We've only got 4 points to spend anyway. I'm literally putting points all over the place on this dude. It's a complete cluster. Alright, let's go have a little look at jaunt crafting, see what we can do on jaunt crafting on this dude. 4 knowledge points via treasures. Dare I say I should probably go out and get my treasures. Right, crafting orders. Let's have a little look. 10 patron orders. Any freebies? Hey, a freebie! Boom. Deadly Emerald quality 2, 1,000 gold for 10 artisans acuity. Probably not, sorry. Deadly Onyx, provided nothing. Masterful Onyx, provided the gem cutter, didn't provide the gemstones or the gems. That's a no. Quick Sapphire, provided nothing. Provided nothing, yet does come with a pentagold review. The patron orders resourcefulness is base. Oh yeah, without question, yeah. Multicraft only doesn't benefit you at all with patron orders. And you're probably not using concentration to fill them. So yeah, resourcefulness is... It's not only base, it's literally your only option. You need a decline button for patronizing orders, yeah. Absolutely. Agreed. I'd like to block Millhouse, you know. 500 gold, 2 knowledge points. Oh, well, that was money. I need an amber. Oh, I've used my flipping warbank button. Where's my war... Oh, no, I bet it's expired as well, hasn't it? Right, let's go get some jewel crafting maps. God, I can't wait for this next patch so that I don't have to run to the bank every time. Jewel crafting. Let's just grab some basic stuff. We can always put it back in here in a minute. Right, here's to hoping we don't need any more. TSM have problems with the item levels in Shadowlands. Well, TSM often requires a lot of manual input from the devs to make things like that work as intended, which is something that usually takes time. But yes, Shadowlands, they definitely struggled. Right, I think that's all of the viable orders, actually. Any public orders? Never lucky. Skill 83. Skilling jewel crafting up's a pain in the ass. You've either got to dump gold into these prisms, which to me feels like a terrible, terrible use of resources. Two skill points in the profession, but at this moment, I don't really know how else to get it up. Haha! Don't clip that out of context. Jeweler's settings, but I'd need the recipe. Blasphemite cuts, I'd need the recipes. What are the blasphemite cuts on the auction house these days? Clipped along with the stellar sips. Character assassination incoming. Well, what are you going to do?
My directive is to serve you.
Let's go... No, not reagents. Let's go recipes. Jewel crafting. Uncollected. Oh, blasphemite ones are like literally free. Fractured gemstone locket? Sure. Okay.
My thanks for your
That'll
patience.
do me. There's a few new goodies on this dude. I don't mind spending the gold on the recipes on this fella because eventually I will actually buy every recipe on this dude. That's this character has like 99% of all jewel crafting recipes ever. So that's not going to change. Rank 2 blasphemite cuts are actually profit. Well, that's also potential. Let's have a look, shall we? Rank 2s are money. Rank 2s are actually money. In theory. Is it only money because something weird's gone on?
I have calibrated my prices to be reasonable.
Are they money because there's some shenanigans at play, or are they just, no, they're just reasonably priced. Genuinely, actually reasonably priced. Uh, 83. 3 points per. What do we need? 16 points. 7, 6, 12, 8, like 6. We got a bunch of crushed gemstones. Should we buy some more? What's the price of these? How many Q2 gem? Oh, we got plenty of Q2 gemstones right now. Gem cutters, we got plenty of those as well.
My directive has
Okay, that
been
doesn't work out too
fulfilled.
bad. Shall I get a first time craft on the others all the same? Oh, I need to be over at the bench. Right, Q2's profit. Let's craft a handful of these for some skill points, if nothing else. A few bonus ones. That'll help me get jewel crafting to 100. $96. Oh, god damn you. I'm gonna be one short. 99. 100. I wonder how interesting it'd be to see a gold leaderboard. I bet that'd unearth some drama. There's an add-on called Wealth Tracker, which allows you to run around the capital city and just mouse over people, and it shows you how much gold they have. Which we played with a little while ago. It's quite fun. Okay, well that's got jewel crafting to 100 if nothing else. Should give us a little bit more love when it comes to getting patron orders, maybe. And if nothing else, should help us finally finish off sapphires. Well, that's fun. That's fun. Now, in theory now, if I actually went and got my 100 plus 40 build, I'd be able to make these bad boys at Q3, right? Be able to make these bad boys at Q3 guaranteed if I got this sorted. $440. Doesn't look like that's happening. What's the damage on a Q3 one of these? 4,000 gold apiece. Okay, well, your crushed gemstones are going to cause problems there anyway. Prime fodder for some concentration here, though. Absolutely prime fodder for concentration. I bet if I did a recipe scan on jewel crafting now, it's screaming at me to craft the meta gems. Guaranteed Q3 gems are lost because concentration armies have taken over now. Not worth it. I want to put a little video together about this because this is going to be the start of a trend that's going to last the entire expansion. And it's going to require crafters to start looking at things a little bit differently. You've got to be a little bit more savvy about how you calculate your profit. Because if you just look at whatever the cheapest possible price to buy one of a thing is, and consider that the value of the item that you craft, that's arguably now the wrong way of doing it. It always was the wrong way of doing it, by the way, but it's now even more so arguably the wrong way of doing things. Because that one could sell very quickly. What you actually want to do is you want to have a better understanding of the demand of the market, and you want to know just what price, what is the upper echelon, what is the upper threshold of posting price where you stand a reasonable chance of still selling it. Now, most add-ons are going to calculate their profit by taking the current lowest listing price and your crafting cost and doing some simple maths. But there's more to that nowadays, because what you're going to find when you go to the auction house is you'll have dark mode that double time. What you'll find when you go to the auction house now is you'll have like a handful of different listings. So if you're looking at some sort of Q3 gem, right, Q3 gem of any variety, on the auction house, what you're probably going to find is like 1,000 gold, 1,001 gold. And quantity-wise, you might have like 2, 3, 4, 1, 6. And these are like going up in like very small quantities. So this is kind of how your auction house is going to look. Something along those lines. But let's assume guaranteed price. Guaranteed price is 1,200 gold. So these listings here are clearly people who've crafted it with concentration and can comfortably undercut the market. Because if concentrate, like Q2 mats, plus concentration is like 900 gold. You can understand why these are here. But what most players are going to have to learn is that if you're using Q3 mats to make them at this price, you could look at this and you'd just go, yeah, it's not profitable. Can't do it, not profitable. But the reality is this is such a low quantity of gems that when the demand actually kicks in, you could still craft them at this price, but you, what's known as overcut, and you post yours at 1,300 gold, knowing that these cheap ones are very, very limited supply. And this is where crafters are going to have to just know the market better. There's no way around this. You can't get an add-on to easily tell you this. What you need to start to understand is how much can be hoovered up. What is the actual demand for an item that you're looking at crafting? So if you can guarantee it for 1,200 gold and you post yours at 1,300, is there enough demand naturally to hoover up all of these to then get to yours? Because when these sell, they can't be replenished very quickly or very easily. But simple add-ons are going to tell you that, oh, you want to make it, it costs you 1,200 gold. Well, the cheapest price is 1,000 gold. Don't do it. But when this sells and this sells and this sells and can't be put back on the auction house, why craft it? Just flip it. Well, flipping is also another option. If you know the market well enough, you can, and this is what we'll probably find happens, is that concentration armies are a bit of a buzzword at the moment, and so a lot of people are trying them out. But what you might start to find is that, you know, anything under this price, top tier crafters who know they're crafting shit at the cheapest possible price will be able to look at these and go, right, well, they're clearly concentration crafts. Clearly concentration crafts. I can buy these up. So you could take this chunk out here and you could put them all back in at 1,400 gold. Because they can't come back. These can't come back, right? If you're confident that your crafting cost is 1,200 gold when you're guaranteeing them and you're mass producing them, if you know that you can't get better than that, then all of this cheap shit, it's relatively safe to buy it out and flip it round because it can't come back. That's the point. Unless concentration craft alt armies are able to actually meet the demand for the crafted item in the first place. And then, you know, the natural demand might only take these out the market. And then you've got a problem that the whole demand can be facilitated by concentration armies. But I don't foresee that as being really probable. And what I also foresee is that people will figure out what their crafting price is and they'll just buy out all of this shit. Concentration crafters will just sell all of their stuff to the dedicated crafters. And the dedicated crafters will just put it on the pile of crafted items and sell it at their profitable price. Because there's nothing these concentration crafters can do about it. There's big, deep undercuts and massive undercutting going on right now because people haven't really figured out how it works. But even if you have a much cheaper price using concentration, that's good for 1 or 2 crafts a day per character, which is unlikely to meet the demands of, you know, the region as a whole. Add-ons need an option to ignore X of the lowest minimum buyout. Well, in theory, something that could easily be done. You could start to try and calculate this, because what TSM at least does do is try to track the sale rate of items. And so you could probably make a custom price source that's a little smarter. You could probably make a custom price source that looks a little bit like, I don't know, let's go to the auction house and have a little look. Let's have a tinker about. Because on any given item, you can see roughly how many sell a day. So you can start to say that, right, well, if this many sells per day, let's see if we can find an item. Well, let's just take these culminating blasphemites as an example. So at Q2 or even Q3, at Q3, culminating blasphemites. Now TSM claims 200 sell a day. This is the problem, right? I don't actually trust TSM data on this, but you could say there's 1,400 available. TSM seems to claim about 200 sell a day. So you're looking at like 10%. The bottom 10% could easily get bought out per day if nobody crafted any more. Now, of course, it's an ever-living, ever-breathing game. People are playing it 24 hours a day, so that doesn't necessarily work. But there's likely to be a cluster. If you start to see a cluster of cheap stuff that's clearly being produced by concentration, this feels like it's probably somewhere near the actual crafting price right now. But if we look, let's see if we can find a few things that might be. If we look at some of the Q3 enchants that I know are popular candidates for concentration builds, Crystalline Radiance, for example. So what you'll find on something like this is that you know that when it gets busy, the bottom chunk of this is going to disappear super fast. Now, these numbers all look very much like these are concentration craft armies. These are people that have got 10 to 15 enchanters, right? Because look at the undercut values, 318 down to 6255, down to 6224, down to 1199. These are like unnecessary undercuts. So these are people that are coming along and are just flat out undercutting by like 5%, and they're dumping their entire concentration stacks. So these feel very much like these are people with concentration armies that have produced a bunch, put them on the auction house, and when they sell, they sell. Now, if you know that Crystalline Radiance enchants on a busy day, you know, sell 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 per hour, quite viable. You could easily say that these can get hoovered up. This cheap stuff will get hoovered up that's made by concentration, and then you could post yours like... You could post yours at a higher price knowing that it will, you know, the demand will hoover up the cheap stuff nice and fast. And if nothing else, goblins will buy out the cheap stuff if it gets too cheap and reset it. It's going to require... The reality is it's going to require crafters to work harder. If you like, profit is not something that profit is something you have to work for. Profit is the reward of your hard work. And if you don't work hard at all, you don't make much profit usually. But the advantage of you working that little bit harder than concentration armies can make a little bit of profit once a day, right? And so they have to scale it up to a billion alts before it actually accumulates to much at all. But the region-wide auction house is so goddamn powerful when you can mass produce things and then sell it at a profit. Hence why people can sell 10 million gold of something in a day easily. Crafters are just going to have to work harder, is the honest answer. And if it's too much like hard work for you, then it means somebody else is probably going to come along and do it. And they'll make the gold and you won't. Is my suspicion with this. How do we do these at top marks? Do we just do Q2, then concentrate? Is that the optimum for these? 259 concentration is the optimal for these. Could we use our glittering gem dusts to get that down even further? In my opinion, people talking about crafting profits really just mean profits from reagent sniping. Well, this is what it tends to end up being a lot of the time. This is why you should always be careful about pre-crafting. It's safe to buy materials ahead of time, because then if on a busy day like a reset day the price of the materials goes up, you now have two options. Do you craft with those items and sell a crafted item, or do you just sell out the materials at the new higher price? In essence, just flipping. That's what a lot of crafting actually ends up being. The added value of the conversion of the materials into something else is usually zero, but it's just your engine to be able to sell more in theory. You don't need region-wide auction house to sell 10 million worth of stuff on a day. 9.2 would like to have a word with you. Sold 50 mil worth of Legos in an hour on reset day. Well, yeah, of course, you know, but that's a once in a decade opportunity. That doesn't happen every day. How do you catch up with enchanting points? I've disenchanted over 500 rares and got nothing. You need to make sure you've picked up the treasures, the 2 weekly treasures first. Until you've picked up those 2 weekly treasures, you don't get the catch-up points. Frequently less than 0 crafting value add. It's a trick that bots use. It's a trick that bots use because, of course, bots often, or well, they historically used to, they probably don't have this much of an issue anymore, but historically bots used to have the problem that they would farm up more shit than they can actually sell. If they were to just, you know, they couldn't physically sell everything that they farmed. And so what they would do is they would convert it into the bot started crafting stuff to be able to sell a wider variety of stuff. This we saw a lot in Shadowlands. Gross as it is. Okay. It's not so much I need to do on this dude now, really. I should probably, considering this is my main dude, I should go and do the weekly stuff. I'm going to go grab my treasures and stuff, because it kind of feels a little silly not doing it. Maybe we can wombo combo it with a bountiful or something. Let's head down to the Ringing Deeps. Go do a bountiful delve or something. Have I done my... Where's the... Oh my god, I've not done a single delve apparently this week. Oh dear, okay. How's that a thing? It's literally delve week. Ah? That's a lie. I'm pretty sure I've done some tier 8 delves this week. Oops. Are we 600 item level yet? No, not quite. Getting there. Thoughts on the mats market pricing? Still free falling? I mean, it will. It will. There's arguably still too much crafting, too much profit in crafting, and for as long as there's profit in crafting, or by concentration, I mean, so there's too much profit still in these concentration builds and the concentration armies, which is causing less and less and less people to buy quality 3 mats, which is in turn crushing the price of everything. But it'll all balance out. It'll level out. It's fine. My perspective on this was that most crafted items were about 3 times the price they probably should have been anyway. Everything was still super duper mega expensive. Like literally everything. It's lasted a lot longer, this expansion launch, than it has in previous. But everything was still just way too expensive. So this is the inevitable crash. And it's because now people are getting to the point where they're, you know, everything's normalizing. Everything's balancing out. People have figured out that actually you can, at least in small quantities, produce quality 3 crafted goods at a cheaper rate. And in turn, the top tier crafters have had a small heart attack that their guaranteed crafts are no longer profitable, and so in turn are buying less. And when people stop buying shit, prices go down. But there is absolutely no way that prices were going to hold much higher for much longer than what they did. 2 treasures, 2 tokens. How we doing, Mikey? Welcome in. Good morning. Actually, I've just realised my bags are so gross. Maybe we can do this. There we go. Neat and tidy again. Press of a button. How far off Glory of the Delver are you? I've been slacking on it this week. I didn't play much over the weekend though, so I often don't play much over the weekend, so I tend to find most Monday, Tuesdays I'm actually playing catch up more than anything else. I swear there was a treasure there. Yeah, I kind of have a slightly different schedule with this game than many, due to being able to play this a lot during the week, but then in turn I don't play much at all at the weekends. Kind of opposite to a lot of other people. Completed the Glory of the Delver. It took a while to get the correct stories to pop up. Well, that's gonna be the bane of my life. Yeah, it's something that I will just probably have to chip away at slowly over a period of a month or so. I have. Well, the reality is yes, I've still got quite a lot, but there's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that I need to check every day to see if the story's up. Now, as days go on, this list will get shorter and shorter. It's a lot of upfront hard work, checking everything daily, but it will quickly come to, oh, let's check this, and if it's up, do it. If not, do something else for the day. Should have done that in the first week. Can't do everything. The achievement Discord posts a lot of which of the stories are up. If I'm going to go out of my way to check a Discord to do something, I might as well just be doing it in game. Like I said, it's not very high on my priority list. It's something I'll chip away at. It's just kind of like my overarching patch goal rather than something I'm trying to blast. Done Zekfi yet? I haven't, no. I accidentally stumbled on him because I didn't realise it was... I went down and entered the delve thinking it was just another delve, and of course it's not. So I stumbled across him, but he handed my ass to me, so I swiftly left.
Help us out. Point out any good scrap.
Yeah, much like lots of the stuff in this patch so far. I know I get to play this game a lot, but I'm trying my best recently to not get too caught up in the fact that this is a brand new expansion. There is meant to be more stuff for you to do than you know what to do. I don't feel too bad for not doing everything yet. We've got a lot of time. I don't want to blast through everything in the first month and then have nothing to do for 14 months. Alright, is this going to spawn the actual dude? Oh, is he spawned now? There he is. Hard as a BM from what I've seen, doing it on my survival hunter. Pet dies in one melee swing. Hard to face tank bonk. Boss keep aggro off pet. Hang on, I need to not stand in the goo here. Yeah, like I said, I haven't really tried it. Truth be told, haven't really tried it. Stumbled in there once, got absolutely blasted, moved on. Something about ingenuity might be broken. Had concentration for 2 crystalline radiance crafts and ingenuity procced 7 times. Got 9 total instead. Some people have noticed that you can, once you get your ingenuity sort of past 30%, it starts to really get silly. In terms of the fact that you can get a proc off a proc off a proc. Which is something that when you've only got like 5, 10, 15%, just isn't going to happen. Right, the Dread Pit. Bountiful. Let's give it a go. Get a quick little delve on the go. Yeah, I did sort of have small plans to do a lot more delves this week, but, you know, professions, concentration, goal making, kind of got in the way. As it does. As it does. Goal making is one of, like, this is what is also... Goal making is not always fun. And so for as long as goal making is fun, I'm more willing to put it top of my tree of stuff to do. When goal making ceases to be fun because it's like pulling blood from a stone, which often happens quite quickly, and like I said, I'm somewhat surprised it's lasted this long, but then we can run around and we can do all of this sort of side hustle stuff. Been doing some delves each day this week. Bran now wants 250k XP per level. Dear lord. Bran's a thirsty son of a bitch. Oh, pet's dead. Wait, hang on. What's going on here? Pet do pet things. Holy shit. At level 55, he wants 437,000. Oh my lord. Okay. Getting a level 60 brand's not going to be not going to be easy then. Right. Let's kill these dudes. Has to be done as an achievement to get one at 60. Oh, so it's on your must-do list, I see. Pick up Zahni Pot.
That's more like it.
Oh, there's another cheeky one in there, look. Right, 78% of the gems. I wish it was a one-time thing though. Having to do this with a new companion each season's not something I look forward to doing. Yeah, see, this is another thing, right? I don't think people have quite cottoned on to the fact that this isn't an expansion-long thing. This is a season-long thing. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that towards the end of this season are going to be like, oh, what? Wait, shit, hang on, I've got what? I get a new companion? I get a new companion and I've got to do all this again? Or people who assumed wrong that they have the entire expansion to do this and are taking it slowly are going to, like, have a panic moment when they realise that they've got to do it all in, like, a week. Because, you know, hashtag FOMO and that. Is Bran just doing this one solo? Completely ignoring my pet. Oh, I've just realised, you know what I haven't done today? I haven't listed any auctions. Whoops. I even loaded my second account and I've completely forgot to do it. Your World of Warcraft subscription has expired? Okay, sure. Well, time to spend some gold then. Tokens should be pretty cheap right now, right? Surely. The only seasonal thing so far looks to be Zekfir and the Delver's Journey bar. The achievement says a companion, so likely won't need to do it for the next one. Oh, okay. But, I mean, it's, yeah.
Nice find.
It depends what they do with the delves going into the next season. If they, aren't I meant to have something to get rid of all of this goo on the floor? Isn't that kind of the point of this? Ah, there we go. I do have a thing to get rid of it all. Next season, Delves probably get Explorers League Companion, Reno, yeah, it could be cool. I think Reno Jackson's gotta be the one, hasn't he? I think Reno would be a bit of fun. There's one gem hoarder down. Is it just those two skittering menaces? Pull them as well.
Helps are coming.
Is that like a woodpecker or something going on outside my house? Hang on. There's something going on outside. Please hold.
You're looking a bit rough. Take a wee rest.
Some granddad is outside beating his rugs. Making a lot of noise. I've not looked at spending any of my undercoins so far. I took a little bit of a glance at the seasonal journey and realised that it was so... I think I had about 2 bars into it and I was like, oh my god, this is going to take me forever if I want to complete this. So I'm not sure I've really got much to spend my coins or anything on yet. Everything gets kind of boring. I've done over 100 too. Good for gearing. Got 5 alts to 608-ish. Sadly, I wish they'd offer more cosmetics. They seem very rare. Well, my suspicion is that the delves are probably not going to change much. You know, we might get 1 or 2 new delves if they add a new zone or 2, but I'm not really convinced the delves themselves are going to change all that much throughout the entire expansion, so I suspect there'll be plenty of opportunity over the next 12 to 18 months to get those cosmetics if you're in it frequently enough, which I think people will be. Yes, better beating his rug than his meat, yeah. Yeah, I don't need that outside my window. If Granddad's going to beat his meat, he needs to do it in the privacy of his own home. I'm waiting for Blizzard to pair it with FromSoft for a Dark Souls-esque WoW game. I think the success of Elden Ring would most definitely have got Blizzard thinking, but I'm going to be honest, I don't want to see it. I'm not a fan of the Dark Souls games. I understand that from an artistic point of view, Elden Ring is probably an absolutely incredible game. It's not a game that has me intrigued in any way, shape or form to play it though. I've never been a fan of the Souls games in general. It's a little bit too much like playing flipping Mage Torghast day in, day out. I don't think it's for me. I tell you what though, I watched... I'm going to talk about Factorio a lot because I love the damn game. But I watched Dosh Doddington's Megabase video yesterday. And he was talking about his experience beta testing the new Factorio expansion. And it got me all juicy inside. Keeps talking about quality of life things that have been a massive bugbear in Factorio for years and years and years that are being improved in 2.0. And I cannot wait. Actually cannot wait. I haven't decided what to do with Factorio. I've really not decided what to do. It's a game that there's absolutely no chance that I won't throw a good few hundred hours into. I can probably dedicate a month to it, but I need to figure out how I'm going to deal with World of Warcraft at the same time. because it's not very responsible of me to just decide to take a month off. A month into a WoW expansion. But when I start playing the new Factorio game, I know I won't put it down until I've completed it, which is could be problematic, especially considering enough is changing in it that I'm going to feel like a noob again. I will probably stream it, but what I do about YouTube side of things, it might require its own channel.
Nice find.
Because I don't want to completely dilute my main channel with Factorio stuff.
That's more like it.
Because I know I love the game to bits. I know there's probably a lot of people that couldn't care less about it. Do you know roughly when the next season will be? Well, I would suspect that the expansion will contain 3 seasons. Or 4. But the 4th will probably be like less of a season. I hate the fact they do this fated bullshit, and I really hope that they come up with a better idea for this. But there's also part of me that kind of hopes and wishes that we've seen the last of the fated seasons. I kind of hope that fated season was used again in Dragonflight to buy them some time. I'm still somewhat convinced the expansions are going to be much shorter. And I think the use of Fated Season at the end of Dragonflight again, even though people didn't really want another Fated Season, and it was clear people didn't really want another Fated Season, I think it was just used as it was a very easy way to buy them time. Buy them a bit of time to get the War Within ready, for them to get like their new schedule up and running. We of course had Remix to distract from the fact that Season 4 was an absolute floppity-doppity-doppity. So hopefully, or at least my theory here is that that the War Within could be 3 seasons long, 3 proper seasons long, which means each season we could say is 4 to 5 months. If each season was 4 months, then that makes sense for a 12-month expansion. Before we then roll into midnight. If they're 5 months long, that gives us a little bit of wiggle room, a little bit more wiggle room for a beta. I really don't see this being a 2-year expansion though.
You got to dodge.
Just came back to the game after playing Shadowlands Season 1. I think I'll go for a Brutasaur this time round. Good luck, you can't buy it anymore. The only way of getting the Brutasaur is getting incredibly lucky and gold capping it the very second it turns up in the black market auction house. If it so happens to turn up on your realm. So the reality is you can't get it. Or wait for BFA Remix by the recolors. Oh god, yeah, imagine if they do BFA Remix and bring it back. That would be wild. I hadn't even thought about that. Ooh, Fractured Gemstone Locket. 50 gold. Check me out. Thanks, game.
Fantastic.
What do we get? Shadow Binding Ritual Knife, a trinket, 603 trinket. Is that better or worse than what I have? Engrave a ritual seal into your skin, binding you to the shadows, granting you a shitload of agility. Your spells and abilities have a low chance to reduce one of your secondary stats by a shitload. Okay. Oh, it's a good trinket. I've actually got Blood Mallet up. Why am I not even checking Blood Mallet? What was it called? What did I just get? This thing? Shadow Binding Ritual Knife. Shadow Binding Ritual Knife. Yeah, it's not terrible, is it? What did I get it at? Item level 603. It's going to attribute about 5% of my DPS. It's not bad. What have I got? An ever-burning lantern, which is not even on the list. Ever-burning lantern, literally not even on the list. Literally not even on the list. How's that work then? Oh, it is on the list, but it's a lot lower down. 5% of my damage. It's technically better than my ever-burning lantern. But this is on the hero track, so that's got a place to go. Spunker's Candle. Where's the Spunk Candle on the list? Oh, Spunk Candle is about the same as the Shadow Binding Knife. Do we swap out this for our ever-burning lantern? Upgrade it. What does champion gear go up to? 16, I guess? I don't know. I never know what the hell I'm doing with trinkets. I just collect trinkets and just generally end up putting on the one that's got the highest item level. I feel like a video revisiting the tier list predictions for the profession's profitability would be pretty interesting now that we're a little over a month deep. I don't think overall my views going into the expansion have changed that differently. I would also state that a lot of my opinions we're still in the honeymoon period, though. This is the thing. So nothing really has changed. For example, I rated enchanting pretty low. And that confused people, but that's because enchanting is incredibly good at the beginning of the expansion and dies off so goddamn fast it's unbelievable later on in the expansion. So we're still kind of in the honeymoon period. It feels like a little bit too early to do a was I right, was I wrong kind of video. It's still very early. Is there any other goodies in here? Right. Did I get all my treasures? I've still got a deep stone fragment and a stone leather swatch to find. Maybe we slowly make our way to another bountiful delve somewhere. Actually, what other delves are there out here? The waterworks? Do we need anything from the waterworks for this? Do we need a story mode from the waterworks? We need captured engineers. Let's go and have a look, see if captured engineers is up.
Rivers and skyholes. too much. Help us out. Point out
Because
any
this is
good
kind of what
scrap.
we need to do. Just kind of keep an eye on them. Do them whenever we need to do them, and then they'll disappear off the list quick enough. Keep my eyes out for
Cataract
purple
River is
outlines.
known for its wildlife and waterfalls. Can you use your camera to document the region? Appreciation expressed.
Captured engineer. Isn't that the one I said we need? Captured engineers. Get in. Let's do it. Let's go. Well, that wasn't planned, but I'll take it. Oh no, it's a silly
That device
carry a
keeps us
candle
safe
one.
from the poison. Hold on to it.
Do you intend to idle all day?
Did I not get like a curio or anything for Bran in that last run? Maybe I didn't. Let's repair up actually. Sell junk, repair. Invite people to the guild. Forget to do this.
Careful.
Right, let's go.
Totem's power will drain whenever you take a step. You got to dodge. Hey, be careful.
Maybe I took on a little bit too much here. Kill the Mystic first. Pet's alive, I'm alive. That's the rule. Oh, we pulled another one. Whoops. See, I'm starting to clearly get a little bit too confident in these, aren't I? Okay.
Give me a moment, champion.
Who are we trying to... Are we going to rescue people? Was there any point in killing all of those at all? Apparently not. There's a worker over here. Wild experience for Bran, I suppose. Was there anything over there? Was there any little treasures? Maybe not. There's a rare. Should we get the stolen loader? We probably should, shouldn't we?
That device keeps us safe from the poison. Hold on to it.
Oh, did Pet die? Oh no. Whoops. Not the time to pull a rare. Enchanting never truly dies. I guess it's just not as profitable from the big goblin perspective. Well, all I know is that enchants end up getting very competitive and people don't buy enchants anywhere as fast as they buy things like potions. But as a commodity market, it's still treated the same. Meaning that enchants genuinely end up being like single-digit margins at best. The saving grace could be these concentration builds, but we're already starting to see what happens when a bunch of those turn up. That it can really have dramatic effects on the prices of things even still. as we drive closer to inevitable zeros, which always happens with any form of crafting, because people love themselves some gold,
Found a bit of gold. Nice
enchanting is
find.
going to get quite tough. But like I said, concentration might help out a little bit long term. Oh, this isn't a bountiful, is it? I just realised this isn't a bountiful delve. This was just one we needed for the story, so I don't need to faff around min-maxing it too much. Let's drop the totem actually. Did you ever get heritage armor sets? I don't really collect that much transmog. You can probably tell by my transmog at any given point. It's usually a mismatch of whatever I happen to pick up and find. That goes... The only time I collect sets and stuff like that is when it's like directly linked to you know, a new zone or something, and we do some ATT stuff. I'm not that serious about it though. I try and keep my ATT addiction to a minimum. And even when I am getting a little bit into the collecting, transmog is quite low down my priority list. My priorities are recipes first. If there's a recipe to obtain, I'll obtain a recipe. Mounts, pets, toys, and then finally Mog if I'm really bored. In a weird way, I think there's almost too much transmog in this game nowadays. And from a collector's perspective, transmog is just incredible. But at the same time, I'm old school enough that I kind of liked seeing the dude walking around the main town with his mythic set of gear on, being different to everybody else, and there not being that much variety. It made players stand out a little bit more. Nowadays, I couldn't care less what anybody's transmog is. I think it's entirely a selfish endeavor now, transmog. Even though people, you know, have the illusion that it's to make themselves look different to everybody else, it's basically just appeasing their own need
Smell that?
to look a certain way.
Treasure. I know it. We're close.
Call me never pleased, but there's almost too much transmog now. WoW's a dressing game and I love it. It's some people's entire gameplay loop is collecting something new to wear. I mean, I get it. Like I said, I also play this game from a very unique angle, so I'm not immune to the fact that people play this game in very weird ways. It stood out when people didn't kill bosses for many reasons, but nowadays everybody would have the same appearance if there was no transmog. Well, that in a way is what makes people stand out, though. This is it. Like, when everybody has the same gear, the dude that turns up in the big shiny banana suit all of a sudden looks, you know, different, you know, is enough in some regards.
More like it.
Yoink. I thought that dude was meant to pull aggro on everything. He turned up, died, and I grabbed aggro instead. That's not how it's meant to work.
Careful! The totem's power will drain whenever you take a step.
Right, let's not stand in these flames. How do we know when these turn off? 1, 2, 3, go. Spend most of the time looking at your character, and if you have no choice to look shit or look nice, why not choose to look nice? Well, that's true. That's the argument many men will put forward for playing female characters. If I'm going to look at something nice, I might as well be. You know, if I'm going to be staring at somebody's ass. That's not why I play a fox, by the way. I play a fox because you guys chose my race. Called Tyrion females with their dump trucks.
That device keeps us safe from the poison. Hold on to it.
I've pulled aggro on everything. One thing I definitely don't take advantage of anywhere near enough is my camp, actually. If I am going to play a Vampira, I should at least utilise my camp some way, shape or form. Even if it's just setting it at like a rare location or something. This is actually probably the most diverse I've played the start of an expansion though, actually. Like, I don't really feel as if, although this is my main dude, I don't really feel like I have a main character so far in The War Within. Because so much of what I've done is tinkering with all of the different professions. Because you can't do that on one dude. I kind of feel like I don't actually have a main. I think when the goal-making side of crafting dries up a little bit more, I might focus more so on just the one single character. But for now, I'm in true altaholic mode, I think. Vampira's good skinning ults. Set it where you get the fang. It's true, actually, yeah. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I dropped a bunch of my skinning characters, because I just wasn't using them. And that there was no point having a profession I didn't do anything with. I'll regret that when later on in the expansion those beast fangs go to 30k a piece or something stupid, but for now I think I'm happy. I'll survive. Right, one more worker to rescue.
Looking up there rough. Take a wee rest.
Oh no, wait, hang on. Did I not rescue the dude? Whoops.
Do you need something?
Right, wax face. Boss time. We haven't got cooldowns up, but they'll turn up eventually. Let's go. I discovered that you can't use the word MILF as part of your name when creating my Coltiran female. Was tempted by Stifler's mum, but it was too long. Hey, you weren't the only one that was tempted by Stifler's mum, did you get me? Missed. Damn. I'm not sure I've ever had a forced character rename. But then again, I try not to be too controversial with this sorts of stuff. I've had my account for so long, I'm so against taking any risks with it. Just because I know how twitchy Blizzard gets with bans.
You won't hit us with that one.
American Pie, I haven't thought about that for a while. Literally one of the best films ever made. Without question. I don't know if it's just a nostalgia kick or not, but like quite literally one of the best films ever made. Now, it's obviously very American, but I still think it encapsulates that those kind of awkward teenage years that everybody can relate to, even if they're not putting their dick in a pie. Boom! Waterworks stories. Nice, getting there. One less place to have to check every day. We take it.
Nothing old Bran can't get through.
The frustration is you can do T8 delves now and they literally are useless to you, apart from like 2 runed harbinger crests, which 2 of these aren't going to get you very far at all. What do you need, like 30 to upgrade a single piece of gear or something? Isn't there a bit of a rage on at the moment that these are just too hard to come by? I saw something the other day about people complaining that people can't, like, are hard stuck at 619 because they just can't get any further without getting these. I always wonder when we get these kind of like it's too hard to gear arguments pop up. And there's always part of me that wonders. We are literally 30 days into the expansion. Like, I because I don't chase gear that often myself, I always wonder just how quick do people expect to get fully geared. And it's clear that some people's expectations are much faster than others. Right, I need these last 2 treasures before I do anything else now. Boosting my second account's alts as followers in the tier 8s. It's still pretty easy just DPSing on one character. Doubles Brand's experience too. For bountifuls, that's a good plan, yeah. I wonder if I might... I've got a bunch of characters I want to level up. I'm wondering if leveling them via delves might be the way I end up doing stuff. I'm not sure. What do tier 3 delves give you as like gear? Is it reasonable for... Reasonable... Because you're going to get a piece of gear at the end of every run, right? Surely? Much like a random dungeon or something. I wonder if delves for leveling is a... I'm not necessarily looking at the super duper mega fastest way of leveling, but at least for some burning through a bit of rested XP, I feel it might not be too bad. How does it work with Brand's XP though if you're on a lower level character? Is it still only bountifuls that give him rep after a while? I guess it probably is, isn't it? Otherwise people would cheese it on alts. I did every delve on a semi-geared 70. It one-shots everything. 74k quest experience at the end. Didn't seem to get much experience from the delve itself though. Okay. Well, as an alternative to questing or dungeoning, I'll take it. I don't think I mind too much. There we go. There's our treasure. Right. Back to safe lands. Right, let's think about this. Let's send some random crafted stuff over. Right, not too much more I want to do profession-wise. I've got 470 artisan security. I was contemplating whether it's time to start upgrading our gear, but considering we're mostly going like concentration-y stuff, upgrading this isn't really that useful. The knowledge books may or may not be worth more to me. I just want them off my list, if that makes sense. 400, 700 to get these last 2 leatherworking books. I've got 470. I should just go get one of them, shouldn't I? Once they're off the list, they're off my list.
Do not loiter. Stay the course.
Where can we put that to best use? In here, I guess. That seemed like more than 10 points. Whatever. Okay. I think this dude's done for now. Let me fix this inevitable problem of not having game time on my second account real fast. That's going to log me out and log me back in again. What happened to all my characters? Oh. No, I'm not messing around with Dark Moon this month. Can't be bothered. What did you do with my tunes? Hello? Did it kick everything out of my favourites list? It did. Son of a... Where's Banktheus gone? That's annoying. What was the third character I had in here? And what were they doing? I don't even know. Just doing 48 delves a week on my main, slowly leveling Bran up. I don't think that there's enough time in the season to take a slow and steady approach. I'm pretty convinced you have to be doing extracurricular activities to have any chance of getting near the journey completion. But I might be wrong about that. Every time I buy WoW tokens, my favourites gets removed. Yeah, that's a weird bug, isn't it? That could do with just not doing that. That'd be really nice if it didn't do that. Oh no, I've just realised that's oh no, it hasn't come off my TSM graph yet. Right, so at least get some stuff listed. Right, don't post things, don't sell things. There's a few things up on the auction house. Getting some sales in nice and early. We'll take that. Not bothering with Dark Moon stuff because, truth be told, I just cannot be arsed. If I'm not min-maxed on these characters in any way, shape or form. Not enough to warrant running off and doing Dark Moon on 20 different characters. What I don't need in my bags is the Pentagon reviews and the crafting licenses. Let's go put materials in the warbank so all my other toons can use them.
My directive is to serve you. Return and peruse my inventory again.
And let's jump on to the next toon, I think. Right, mage, tailoring and inscription on this dude. I'm starting now to actually level up my actual crafters, not my army of dedicated crafters that we started with. Means I'm quite behind on some of these crafting professions though. "96 patron orders," type of behind. Oh no. 96 patron orders, 92 patron orders behind. That number's only going to get worse over the weeks as well. Right, let's go look at tailoring first. Where are we at with tailoring? I have... Oh, I must have gone out and picked up treasures this week on this dude at the very least. Well, that's saved a bit of hassle. Kej books could be something we look at doing. Or we just take a little bit of a look at patron orders, and if they're dog shit, we call it a day. Oh my god, I'm skill 66 on this tailor. Where do we get skill points at tailoring at this point? Dawn thread linings. Can we craft these at a point to where they're not going to cost us horribly? We're going to lose 500 gold on average crafting any of these because we're just not skilled enough. We don't have all of the stats, so that's no fun. It's a way to get some skill points, but it's also a way to lose 20k gold in the process. Spell threads. I reckon we're just going to get the skill points from this by slowly crafting these with concentration on the daily, aren't we? There's no quick win on these, I don't think. Yeah, crafting these at Q3. Bags? You are shitting me. There is no way bags are profitable. Get out of town. There are no way bags are profitable. They weirdly might be, you know. Well, I could just craft up 30 Duskweave bags and sell them. It's a way of leveling the profession, if nothing else. Did not expect it to be. Maybe all of the early tailoring leveling has burnt through all of the cheap bags on the market, and they're starting to come back to a sensible price point. Can we make any Duskweave to help out the process? Yes, we can. Although we don't have any weaver cloth at quality 2. It costs us a sizable amount of gold to craft the weaver cloth on this dude by ourselves. So either do I go and craft a bunch of weaver cloth on my main crafter? I think I'm going to need to, aren't I? Or do we just buy a bunch and call it a day? If we're leveling, we'll just buy a bunch, call it a day. Right, let's go get some mats for this then. Severed satchel for yourself. True. That needs some artisan's acuity.
I have an extended supply of goods for outlanders.
How many was it per bag? 4. 40 is 10. 80. 100. 100 Duskweave bolts. Spools of dusk thread. You need 30. 300, 600, 900.
My thanks for your...
Is that enough? Feels enough. Used a lot by leveling, tailoring early. People just dumped them, picked up load. Yeah, see, this was it. This is what I assumed. People probably, because it's a conceivable way of leveling, a lot of people probably did exactly what I'm doing now. But now enough time has passed. People have probably moved on from that craziness. Not me, though. As long as they still guarantee points. Okay, they go yellow. Well, I've bought the mats to craft them now, so we might as well. Oh, now they're green at 90. Wow, 90 to 100 is really gross, isn't it? 90 to 100 is super gross. How do I do this on my main tailor then? Because that's disgusting. Oh, I bet I did dawn thread lining. I know what I did. You do dawn thread lining, and you use one of the what they called brilliance ones, the thing that gives you a greater chance of a skill point. And I just crafted 20 of them, and it was job done. A little bit too expensive for me to do on this dude, though. But at least that's a bunch of main skill. Any crafting orders that look worth? Oh, some of these look relatively cheap. Although that said, tailoring crafting orders as a whole can't be too expensive. No bolts of weaver cloth. What? No spools either? All I get on my tailor is profession bag patron orders. Yeah, they're not going to be the cheapest, are they? But tailors have got it easy still, because blacksmiths get absolutely screwed. Sanctified, yeah, exactly. There's damn sanctifieds. There is no escape. $126 gold for a knowledge point. Sure. Adorning ribbon. $52 gold for 2 knowledge points. I guess we take that. Now we're into bag territory. Didn't provide the bolts, so even though there's a pentagold review on that, we'll come back to that one maybe. Same scenario again, you didn't provide the bolts. That's hard to just not do because it's a flipping single bolt. Oh, you want it at Q2, do you? Do I not have any quality 2 spools? Oh, wait, what? I have to unravel quality 3 to get quality 2 spools. God, that's not good. Oh dear, it still doesn't flip in. Oh dear, oh dear. I hadn't planned for that eventuality. Alright, sure, whatever. That took what I thought was going to be an easy one into being an annoyingly difficult one, didn't it? Gardening hats. We'll do a gardening hat. We need an exquisite. Reagent bag provided the exquisites. Good game. Oh, money in these. They weren't that bad at all. They were not that bad at all. I don't need to wrestle over these ones. Four goodie bags. Few mats. Right, let's go have a look at inscription. Actually, one thing I need to do before I forget, because otherwise they'll just sit here. If I don't send them to the bank character, they'll never get there. Okay. Guild order? No guild order. Oh my lord. What we got going on here then? Lots of missives. Lots and lots and lots of missives providing basically no materials. Most of these are going to be a no-go, aren't they? I think before we start this, we're going to need to get some mats out of the bank. Right, Fire Flash. 700 gold? Nope, not happening. Provided nothing. Provided the freshwater and the cipher. Still not that excited about that, if I'm honest. Third time lucky? Provided nothing. No. Harmonious. Provided the ink. It's only artisan security. Tempted. Didn't provide the ink, didn't provide... No, these are all real stinky. Quick Blade. Damn Millhouse never provides anything. Absolute scumbag is that Millhouse. Same again. 2 scumbag orders. Provided the shadow inks. That's money though. Crystalline powders. And we save the ink. Nice. Boundless Cipher. All we need to provide is the water. We can live with that one. Oh, you want this at Q2? You can steal all my concentration. Well, it's still probably worth it. 2 knowledge points. They got a multi-craft. Stole all of my good luck. Mixing rod provides most of the stuff. Requires us to provide the cipher though. Not bothered. Okay. That was a lot of orders, and not a lot of them did we get to complete, really. I was hoping for better with inscription today. I am being pretty stingy though, mind, but all the same. Did you notice that some catch-up orders give the 2 knowledge point rewards? Makes the 1 knowledge points even worth less. Well, the flickers are the catch-up orders. This number, though, any knowledge points you gain via patron orders will reduce this number. But like the actual, or like the 2 knowledge point ones are your weekly refresh that you're meant to get every week anyway. The flickers are the ones that are actually the catch-up orders. The flickers are the bonus ones. Right, okay. 725 artisan security. Do I look at spending that on something? We still need all of the books for both of these 2 professions. It's not doing anything sat in my bags. It's best off used somewhere. But where were we spending points? We were getting our bolts leveled up on this dude by the looks of things. What in the world was I doing here? Presumably I was trying to make missives? What was I doing here? Probably not going Vantus Rune route. Probably went to go the missive route. I think I wanted to get to the point where I could guarantee quality 2 missives easily, wasn't I? Yeah, that's clearly what I was trying to do. That didn't help me out with the crafting orders, but that's only because these dum-dums didn't provide any mats on any of these orders. These flickers are the ones that I talk about being the catch-up ones. The ones that give you the regular glimmers, these are just your normal orders that you'll have much longer to fill on these. The flickers, they're like 24-hour, nearly always they're 24-hour orders. You either complete them that day or they refresh. But the ones that give you the glimmers will stick around a bit longer. These are your normal weekly activities. Now, if you don't fill these ones, then they just go into the pool for catch-up orders next week. That one, is that money if we can complete that? No, it's not. Because it hasn't provided enough. It's not provided anything. Alright, well I don't need to wrestle with it. Do I want to put probably just more points in the base one here? Because that affects this, this and this. Was I doing that for the purpose of concentration? I must have done. It now means I can concentrate on these, on the missives, using Q2 mats. That's probably the threshold I wanted to get to. Does that now mean after I've done that, I want to be more into pursuit of knowledge even further? I don't know. I think that's this dude done for now. I feel awkward having this in my bags. I feel as if I need to spend it on something. I don't know what that something is though. Okay, I'll feel less awkward if it's not front and center. Try the next dude. Enchanting blacksmithing. Hang on, let's get some stuff sold. Should we actually do a cancel scan? Oh, sold some masterful onyxes. 5 of them. Bet those bags aren't in a group. Oh, they are in a group. Huh. What do you know? I don't know what group they're in. Crafted items 5. We'll go with that. Okay, blacksmithing. Blacksmithing is not a fun one. Not a fun one. Have I chose to spec this? Oh yeah, I wanted this dude to go into profession tools. Pushing him into profession tools so he can make some tools for my alts. Am I at the point where I can make tools at Q? Oh, I need some iron claw alloys to test this properly, but I want to see if I'm at the point where I can make quality 4 guaranteed. I think so. I think we're nearly there. Recraft on a pickaxe. Don't have the recipe. This is the problem I'm going to have on this dude, actually. I'm not going to have the artisan security to buy the recipes. A freebie? A blacksmithing freebie? Well, that's Christmas. Get jealous, yo. Blacksmithing freebies. This dude at least could do the Dark Moon Fair. Yeah, I'm thinking on some of these characters the Dark Moon Fair might not be a terrible idea. You want a blacksmith hammer, but you didn't provide any of the iron claw alloys. Well, that's not happening, is it? Just need to provide the bismuth. I'm sure we can provide some bismuth. One bismuth. Let's go. Take that. Made profit on the last one, so we'll do this one. +1, -1. I'm not looking to make huge amounts of gold with any of these. I'm just looking for them to not cost me loads of gold. 30 artisan security and a goodie bag for 200 gold. That's probably worth on a blacksmith where we're going to need it. Iron claw alloys, iron claw. Oh, we've got some alloys in the bank. You wanted it Q2, that's fine. Right, go. Ha! No nullstone, no order. For 2 knowledge points, we'll do that one. You have too many. Oh, have I capped my ever-burning ignitions? Oh, this feels annoying. I have to literally burn these to make way for more crafts. That feels awkward. It's the only way you get skill points at the end, though, really. Oh, it goes yellow at 90. Ooh, I didn't even realise that. I got no guaranteed ways of getting skill points now. Oh well. I guess we it is what it is. 91. 92. Yeah, Dark Moon Fair, if we can get to 97, it would be wonderful, wouldn't it? 94. 95, 96, 97. This probably goes green for the last few points. I want to do a couple more of these. I want to get to 97 and then I go do the Dark Moon Fair. Because then it'll just boom 100. That's probably the plan. 16 points into being better at making weapons. Sorry, profession tools in general. 20 points here, 20 points here. Learn to use finishing reagents. Oh god, no artisan security on this dude. That's because I spent it all on enchanting books, clearly. I wonder if I should start picking up the recipes. Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a bit recipes. Okay. Not a lot I can actually do realistically with blacksmithing now. Let's go look at enchanting. Enchanting's more important, I think. Oh, I haven't done my inscription books this week for this dude. Let me go place a few orders for books. Do I have books in my bags? I don't.
To be reasonable.
Oh god, who's my scribe? I think it's this dude. Hey, oh, wait, what's going on here? Aha! I've placed a bunch of orders before, and they all expired. Maybe I'll actually film them this time. 3, 4, 5. Right. Must remember to actually do those. Must remember to actually do them.
Inventory again.
Right, if I've bought all the books on this dude, this must be this guy must be popping for enchanting. 105, missing tools mind. Spec points wise must be crazy. Yeah, diversification, putting points into making the rods. That's what we were doing. 90 got. Now, see, these are deceptive. Enchanting orders are deceptive because some of them occasionally are money, even though you don't think about orders on enchanting. Residue, spores, dust. Residue, spores, dust.
My directive is to serve you. My directive has been fulfilled.
Residue, spores, dust. Wait, what? Minimum quality 2? Oh, you absolute scumbag. What's going on here? What do we need? 2? I'm 2 points away. I mean, I can just use Q2 dust and that fixes the problem, but that's weirdly annoying. That's going to be the same for all of these, isn't it? We're 2 points away from using Q1 dust. Okay, we've already maxed this node, so we can't fix that any further other than putting 2 more points into here. It'll fix itself when we upgrade one of these. So we don't need to spend points on it. Just have to use Q2 dust for now. We're losing on these, but we gained so big on the last ones that I don't mind. As long as we break even. And then you actually just win again on some of them. Best to keep enough for 2 to 4 orders on each tune. Or 14 for a week's supply. Yeah, I'm just praying and waiting for the well, 11.0.5 will fix all our problems, so you're right, I should keep the mats on me, but oh, look at all the orders we filled. Nice. Blacksmithing knowledge points. Loads of blacksmithing knowledge points. Hey, a null stone. You love to see it. Love to see the null stones.
I have an extended supply of goods for Outlanders.
Okay. Maybe I'm going to go make those books right now, actually. Otherwise, I'll entirely forget again. Because Bezo Bucks is quite far down my list. Let's get those books made real fast.
Hello there.
One to two Q2 dust would be enough. Q1, Q2 dust is basically exactly the same price. Or it should be. Right. In theory, this dude has got plenty enough to just fill all of these anyway. Samples, inks, ciphers. Inks, ciphers, Q2 inks. That's not enough Q2 inks, is it? What else was it we needed? I can never remember. Oh, writhing samples. And for these ones, ley line residue. Let's make sure we've got multi-craft tool on, because we're doing these for ourselves. Ever lucky. Need some procs. We're missing some shadow inks on those. Oh, we need shadow inks for all of them? Okay. Q2s. We can get away with using Q1s, but we don't have any. Multicraft, go. Fully maxed out, but 5 skills short to guarantee rank 5 profession robes. I have to use either concentration or a 5 skill apprentice book. Do we have to craft a few with concentration to be able to guarantee the item at max rank? Question open to all. You don't gain anything by crafting it. Maybe it just is the way. It's entirely possible that that just is the way with tailoring. Should you use an automated crafting add-on like TSM? No. I cannot recommend TSM for crafting. No. There's far too many moving components that you want to have control over to let an add-on do your crafting for you.
Speak and be
Because the way the game is structured now, if you're not optimizing your crafting, you're basically crafting at a loss. So you want to be doing it mostly yourself, if not entirely yourself. Whether it be swapping out your tools, or whether it be using the right finishing reagents, or using the right combination of materials to optimize your prices. These aren't things that add-ons can automate for you. These are things you kind of need to just know and get right. When selling flasks, what TSM operation should I use? Is recent value a safe bet? Depends how you've crafted them. If you're crafting them with concentration, using recent value is probably safe enough. If you're mass crafting them, you might want to do something a little bit more careful, because the recent is still going to focus on the cheapest possible, which is probably much less than your crafting cost. It's yeah, TSM auctioning operations are a little bit of a difficult one right now, because there's like 2 distinct crafting costs for everything. Mass crafted rank 2s. Well, you'll know anytime you're mass crafting something, I'd almost recommend manual prices, to be honest. It sounds really old school, but it is probably the safest route. That if you mass crafted something and you used Craft Sim, you should have a really good idea of what your exact craft cost is for the batch that you produced. You can just set that as your VAT plus 5% as your minimum in TSM. In theory, you're probably not going to be mass crafting too many different items, so juggling a few custom operations with custom prices in is probably the best way of doing it, honestly. We're at that point in the expansion where you can't just assume that everything is profitable anymore, so we're getting very quickly to the world where you do just have to micromanage things if you definitely want to make the profit. I have a little bit more of a risky approach to this, but I'm also in the same category though. I'm mostly producing. Most of what I'm selling right now has come from concentration. But if I were to mass craft things, I would probably look at custom prices now. just because otherwise you're running quite the risk that you're going to start undercutting concentration crafted items, which will be significantly cheaper to produce than your bulk produced stuff. So yeah, you got to be a little bit careful now. You either micromanage it and you deal with a small handful of crafted items, or you spread yourself far and wide and just hope that you win more than you lose. As long as your graph goes up, at the end of the day, you're fine. But it's a little bit more risky to do that now. This is why back in the day, everybody used crafting as the TSM price source. But unfortunately, crafting prices aren't as... they're not nice integer numbers for everybody these days. Not nice, easy to handle round numbers. Didn't count one Dragonflight rare tool was short skill. Oh, yeah. Well, you'll be missing the skill if that's the case. The only time crafting something a few times makes a difference is if you're recrafting. So your logic's not totally flawed, but that only applies when recrafting. If an item was originally crafted using lower quality materials, it has to be recrafted. I think it's 3 times using top tier materials before those top tier materials are baked into the item. And so if you get an order for a recraft come in and somebody's expecting you to make it higher than what they started with, if they use dog shit materials to begin with, you might have problems. That's where crafting it a few times can actually boost the perceived skill, but that only applies on recrafts. That's not a first craft system. Right, who's this? This has alchemy and engineering, I think. I don't even think I've finished leveling engineering on this fella. I go for rank 2 markets with rank 1 mats now. No inspiration builds there. If you can find some markets where there's actually a price difference there. Rank 1 and rank 2 mats are so close in value. Almost identical in some regards. Oh my lord, loads to do on this. Let's go look at alchemy first, because that's more likely to be fun. Engineering is less fun. Oh, this was the dude we were going to do thaumaturgy with, weren't we? I'm speccing him into thaumaturgy, even though... Yeah, he's getting specced into thaumaturgy, even though I haven't really got many knowledge points in thaumaturgy yet. Patron orders. Let's see if there's any luck on any of these. Healing potions. We can facilitate healing potions. Vials, microbloom, herbs, whatever. Let's get some materials out. Why does alchemy as a search term not work? Oh, now I remember. Now I remember. These lot want flipping Q2 everything all the time. Now I either use concentration or I lose a shitload of gold. When concentration is gold, it's the same scenario either way. Alright, whatever. Haha. Yeah, this is going to be the story every time, isn't it? See you later, concentration. You provided nothing. Who is it? Millhouse. Of course it's Millhouse. Millhouse never provides anything. He's an asshole. You want it at Q2. Have some concentration. Q3 flask providing nothing. Well, that would be nice. That'd be nice, but I ain't got zero hopes of getting Q3 if you provide nothing. Not without a metric ton of concentration. Q2 we can perceivably deal with, but no. Same with you, that's not happening. Okay, there was a lot of orders on that list. Not a lot of them felt worth doing. That's probably worth doing. Is that really the way to optimize for Q2? Oh, is that how to do it without using concentration? Okay. Right, I guess that's going to do of those. Ouch. That was a lot of concentration. We didn't get a lot out of that. Couple of knowledge points. 4 knowledge points, I suppose. We've had worse. Right, let's see if engineering is going to be any better. I'm not keeping my hopes up. We've gone deep into profession gear on this dude as well, which seems like an odd choice, but maybe it will work out for us. We are skill 41 though, that's not very helpful. That's pathetically low. Why did I not get any further with this? I bet I ran out of parts, didn't I? Oh, scrap. Yeah, I did. I ran out of scrap. Unforeseen circumstances with scrap. Any freebies? That's nearly freebie. Provide a gear and a safety switch. Let's grab some parts. I must have a bunch of parts in here, surely. Gear, safety switch. That's worth. First time craft on that as well. We'll take that. Worth it for the first time craft. My jeweler had 4 orders from Millhouse for prismatic null stones with only 1 or 2 gems provided. Yeah, that Millhouse dude's an absolute scumbag. He needs to reevaluate his life decisions. 1,000 gold. We ain't spending that. Not very often when I... No, we're not crafting that. 2,500 gold for a knowledge point. How about no? A chaos circuit. Not providing the null stone. How about no? Dredger's goggles. 1,000 gold worth of mats for a knowledge point. Nah. Providing nothing once again. Wow, didn't provide the chaos circuits. Nope. Look at all these orders we're not doing. That's not that expensive. Because we can use... Why do we have no cheap bolts on us? Oh my god, I can't even make tier 2 parts on this dude. Ugh! I should not be making these. Patrons are absolute scumbags. It's a first craft. Well, 200 gold for first craft, you can't argue with. And that one's acceptable. Resource proc. Hey! Okay. Does that at least do that? Okay, that at least did our weekly quest for orders. That's fine. Why is my phone going off? Why is it not on silent?
The winds guide you.
Nice. Some knowledge points. Some 590 artisan security. $600's worth spending somewhere. I've got that kind of typical RPG problem where you don't use a potion because you think it's going to be more valuable later, and then later never happens. This is why I'm just kind of almost dumping my artisan security on some of these crafters now, just to get things off the list, because these are not main crafters, but having it sat there is doing nothing. But I don't know what the solution is. The solution's just to spend it on something, but it's that, where do you spend it? Alchemy is probably a better place to spend it. I'll get profession tools later on in the expansion when they're cheaper. I don't know. Indecisive. Got a few orders done though, at least.
My directive is to serve you.
Wait. Why have I got so many Cave Dwellers Delights in here? Oh, well, I was probably using those for catalysts, wasn't I? Okay, they're fine. They can stay there. Occasionally the rank 2 mats are even cheaper than rank 1s. That does happen. That's already starting to happen, which is crazy. Yeah. Did we sell any of those bags? Oh, we have sold some of the bags already. Oh, that's fair enough then. I don't mind. That'll do. Right. Big Boy Jawncrafter, who's still 13 patron orders behind, even though I felt like I'd never missed a single one, but clearly I had. Newly leveled enchanting. Let's look at what we can do with Jawncrafting first. Alright. Orders. Patron orders. Very little on the list. Deadly Ruby. Deadly Ruby may be money, because we only need the gem cutter. Providing nothing. That's a no thank you. Providing nothing again. That's a no thank you. And a prism. Not providing a nullstone. No thank you. This is maybe why we've fallen behind, because some of them are stupid. Foragers font inspectors. I get orders for these all the time. Where does this recipe come from? Lorendal. Ha! Another scenario. I've got 875 artisan security. That's enough. Is that not enough to get all 3 of my books for enchanting? I think it is, isn't it? Why am I not doing that? Or should I say, or should I be taking 400 of that to make the enchanting tool? What's the knowledge look like on this dude? Okay, we're still slacking on knowledge points. We're also slacking on skill up here. We could fix a few problems here. We could definitely fix a few problems. Can we at least get this dude leveled up? Crystalline Radiance is weirdly profitable at quality 1. Well, that's broken. That's not meant to be a thing. I've also got apparently no Q2 Storm Dust all of a sudden. Where's all that gone then? Or have I just spent it? Entirely possible I've just spent it. You make an ingenuity tool for your enchanter. Well, I'm still trying to get my actual enchanter to the point where they can make quality 5 tools. As soon as I can make quality 5 tools for myself,
I have calibrated my prices to be
I will
reasonable.
contemplate it, yes. Why was I in the auction house? Dust.
My directive has been fulfilled.
Just a casual 100k on dust. Why not? I was going to buy the knowledge books. Why the hell not?
I have one-of-a-kind items. We will have justice. What do you seek? Shorel Aran.
Now they're not on my list. Feel you, and that one. Then we can put more points into here. Six points off that one. Generalized over here. Save artisan security. Use it on a tool next. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Level this enchanting to 100 maybe. Might be something I want to do now. I'm gonna need tinderboxes to do that. A tinderbox is free yet? Have they crashed and burnt? What are tinderboxes doing? 6k still. Still holding on. Still holding on strong, aren't they? And not letting go. Farm them so they're free. That old chestnut. Do I make some quality 1 crystalline radiances? This makes no sense. Actually no sense whatsoever, but... This is because the market's broken. Most people can't make them at Q1. It's going to go yellow now, isn't it? There we go. Now we need probably Chant of Leeching Fangs, maybe? 87 gold loss making these. But it's easy points. Basically break even, so no issues in doing it. Goes yellow at 90, I think. Yeah, yellow at 90. Fiery Resolve. Can we take this to 100? Need 3 crafts on this. 3 tinderboxes. Tinderboxes had... Oh my god, if tinderboxes had quality... Well, we were kind of... Before we realised just how easily Dark Moon cards were going to drop, we kind of were thinking that with Radiant Crystals having quality, that quality 3 versions could be just like to the moon level crazy. But since Dark Moon cards ended up dropping so cheaply, and you're able to basically disenchant Dark Moon cards for 150 gold a piece, it, you know, it saved the price of crystals. But if it wasn't for that, crystals would be 40k a piece. And then think how expensive enchants would have been. What's your take on the price of the Slum Shark? No idea. I've not looked at cooking at all. I suspect it's a key component that's annoying to farm for, so it's expensive, I would assume. Flask prices, they've tanked like crazy. Everything was every quality 3 item was about 3 times the price it needed to be. And so everything was inevitably going down. It wasn't a case of if, it was a case of when. And it's now happening. They lasted... most markets lasted a lot longer than they probably should have done. I'd just be careful with your crafting prices from this point on, yeah, if you're still producing stuff. Because it's spicy out there. No, Q1, dust. One of you. There we go, optimized. We lose 500 gold on each of these, but that's nothing really. 100. Okay, let's fix that problem then. Not that it was too much of a problem, but it will help in the next few days and weeks. We're capped out here. Need another point in there for when we use concentration. Now we're only 5 points away. Any first-time crafts? Oh, loads of first-time crafts. Any cheeky first-time crafts that aren't going to cost a bomb? I've run out of tinderboxes. I don't want to buy more tinderboxes unless I have to. First time craft, bit of profit from concentration. Haven't done a shatter. Don't craft anything unless you've done a shatter. Oh, hang on. Oh, didn't press the concentrate button. That's why it's not working. There we go. 226. Gets the first time craft out the way. Let's do it. Ooh. Break even price on these just by itself. Make one of them. Break even on one of them. No concentration needed. Easy to harvest first time crafts if they make you money. Oof, that's a loss. That's one where we're going to want to use concentration on it, but we haven't got enough right now. We'll do it for 2% loss, just for the first time craft. $300 gold, sure. The reason I want these first time crafts is because I'm exactly 5 points from capping that. There we go. That's the knowledge points I really wanted on this dude. Spread nice and wide here. Unlock as many stuff as possible. And then ingenuity and resourcefulness stacked over here with our shatter. Nice. Not doing anything particularly fancy, but allowing me to come along, do a recipe scan, craft what's ever profitable. That said, I don't have any of the good recipes, so these numbers though are going down literally every day now. It's the race to the bottom has definitely begun. Wait, what? Oh, no. Cancel. Flipping hell. On what recipe will you spend your enchanting concentration on? Whichever makes me the most value from it when I need to spend it. This is why I've spread wide, not deep, on my enchants, so that if one crashes, I don't care, there'll be another one. So here, for example, if I don't have concentration to spend right now, but if I did, my best use of it would be either the Chant of Armoured Speed or the Chant of Leeching Fangs, as they can gain me the most gold per point of concentration. Obviously, if I had better recipes, if I had Authority the Depths on this character, for example, that would be the best use, but I don't, so you know, you can only take what's available to you. But this is the advantage of spreading wide. It means I can craft most enchants, given access to the recipes at least, at a good price. And in this scenario, you can see that I've got a few of these in my inventory already, so I'd probably craft the Armoured Speed one instead. You know, giving myself choices. Okay, that dude's nicely set up. Let's get some of that stuff sent over. Need to sell this relatively quickly so that we don't lose any gold on it. The crafter's license. Anything else that's interesting? Those decorative lenses I could probably sell. I use those for orders occasionally from time to time. No, that's it. That's looking good. Didn't even use an inscription book this week, actually. Nor have I even gone and got the Kej on this dude. Okay, a few things I could do here for a little bit more knowledge points. Few things sold already today. Not too bad. And a few more things that sell. Oh, sold a bunch more bags. Nice to see that we could get those out nice and fast. Selling these nice and quickly has meant that we basically got to level up tailoring for free, which is kind of what I want. This is why I'm setting up a lot of characters now. Because there is still the potential to level the professions basically for free, which if you can be in that, you don't have, the professions don't need to make you any gold whilst you're leveling as long as you break even. But I always know that the later you leave it in the expansion, there's kind of a happy medium, right? If you level right at the very beginning, they're super expensive to level, because the mats are crazy prices and everybody's just dumping what you craft with. Later on in the expansion, you might be able to, you could level them up for a much smaller price, but nobody wants anything, so everything you craft goes in the bin. Now's like a perfect time to level your professions, because people are still buying all of the stuff that you have to craft to level them. And you can also, in some scenarios, basically level them for free, which, if you've got lots of alts, makes it a very good time to just slowly chip away at leveling all those professions up. You'll thank your future self when you don't have to spend like 20, 30, 40,000 gold per character just to get the profession to a point where you can use it. So it's quite time consuming, but it's worth doing right now. I've got most of my characters on my main account set up now. I do have another couple of accounts with a handful of characters on that I'm tempted to load up, but I'd need to give them copies of The War Within, actually, if I was to do that as well. I don't know, we'll think about it. But I'm actually going to leave it there for today, boys and girls. A little bit of a shorter stream today. I'm taking it a little bit slower this week. There might not be a stream tomorrow. I've got something IRL that I need to deal with that hopefully it will be finished by the time my usual stream schedule starts, but if not, it will the stream will either be slightly late, or as it's only a Tuesday, I might not stream tomorrow, you know, maybe use it for some YouTube content or something. But failing that, we'll be back Wednesday. Wednesday's going to be a big one this week because we've got Spark, and Catalyst this week, if I correct it, if I'm led to believe, meaning it could be a bit of a bumper Wednesday potentially. But thank you all for joining today. Hope you've had fun. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. And if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll catch you Wednesday. Have a good one, boys and girls. Peace.